Welcome, Summoners, to Games Cast by PanderNyrl. If you wish to see more commented games, follow my social media pages below. Alright, into the bands of mouzsports vs Giants, game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Twisted Fate banned out, as no one really wants to see Twisted Fate. We do have a Mundo ban again. Still not sure about the Mundo ban, as I don't see Mundo being enough of a threat in any real lane. It almost feels like a throwaway ban to get some of the higher tier characters into the actual picking phase. Kennen banned out as well, a really popular map roamer, and has done some really good things in the past. Evelyn banned out, no surprise there. If you don't ban out Eve, you're in for a world of hurt, as her ability to roam around the map and her ultimate are just incredibly powerful. Katarina banned out. mouzsports not willing to see that again, as Katarina had an amazing game 1. Able to really punish a few early game mistakes, then jump in and finish off these team fights with her ability to snowball. And the last ban by Giants likely going to be, I expect, a Kale or Elise, so they can pick up the other two, and it will be an Elise. So it looks like mouzsports has the option of Kale, Shen, and they go with Ryze. Ryze, a very strong pick and a very good champion throughout the entire stage of the game. He is a little weak early, but come late game he delivers some of the strongest damage in the game, and it looks like we are going to have Giants going for an Olaf. Could go Kale with Olaf, could go Shen with Olaf. Both of those would be very good choices, and mouzsports is going to like what they're going to see, as they are going to have a lot of options to pick some very strong champions depending upon what Giants want. As if they do go with Olaf on the Giant side of things, and it looks like they're going to leave Shen and Kale open on the board. And I expect mouzsports to grab at least one, if not both of those. And that would be an amazing pickup by them. They could run Kale in the jungle, Shen top, Ryze mid lane, and be in incredible shape. And let's hope Giants has a pocket strategy in case that happens, as Zyra and Olaf can be run in multiple locations. And I do think Giants is just not willing to show what they're going to do yet. And I think Zyra will be played support, and Olaf will likely be either top or jungle, as I don't expect another mid Zyra, especially against Ryze, though she does do pretty well. It looks like Taric will be the pickup here, as we do see Shen also picked up, and that is going to be a very devastating combination, as Taric can set up the Shen taunt very well, especially in these level 1 fights. And I don't see any way Giants is going to have a level 1 fight, nor I do expect mouzsports to try one. As a Shen taunt, Taric stun, Rune Prison from Ryze, all incredible level 1 abilities, and have the ability to just shut down a team in those early game fights. Kale's still on the board, a very popular champion in this tournament. As for other popular champions, it looks like they are going to go Kennen. They could go Nunu as well, with Zyra mid lane again, and I think Nunu would be an excellent choice to go with this Kennen. They really seem to like that combination, and it worked out to amazing effects in game 1. And I wouldn't see any reason to not pick it up in game 2, unless they just want to save that Nunu pick for last, as Taric is likely going to be the support for mouzsports. And it looks like they are going to grab Sona is on the board, and it will be a Sona. So it will be a Zyra in the mid lane again. Sona will be a very good support down bottom, though it depends who mouzsports decides to pick as their AD carry, if she's going to be safe or not. Looks like they are going to mouse over the Varus. And a Varus Taric lane is pretty powerful, as Taric can throw out the stun. Varus can actually proc off his blight stacks with relative ease and punish Kennen for trying to get up there and last hit. Kennen will have the ability to try and get a stun off before the Dazzle actually lands, but I'm not sure he's going to have a very good time doing that, as Dazzle has a fairly fast travel time, even though Kennen does have the ability to pop Lightning Rush and back up to possibly get out of the range of the Dazzle and the AD carry. He can't actually outrange the Dazzle, but he gets out of the range of the threat of follow-up from the Dazzle. And it looks like Renekton is going to be picked up. It didn't work out incredibly well for Renekton, but it didn't work out poorly either. He just never really got the chance to show off his teamfight power, as he couldn't get to the back line. He was always seemed to be caught out, or just not able to get deep into these team fights. And it will be a Varus pickup. Varus, a very strong champion, and mouzsports has a pretty good lineup, as they have a fairly tanky front line and two very powerful late game champions in Varus and Ryze. And I don't think there's a chance the Giants are going to want to team fight at level 1. They do have a few decent options for team fight, and it looks like we are going to see Giants trolling a little bit with that last pick. And I'm not sure exactly what we're going to pick up. They do have Olaf who can go top or jungle. I'd like to see him go in the jungle. It would be an excellent way to start a fight. And it's likely going to be a Wukong coming out. Wukong, another highly contested pick. Or even Kale, who has not been picked or banned, yet is a very popular champion in this tournament. Has been used to great effect, and her ultimate would be a good choice, and it is Wukong. So it will likely be a Wukong top or mid lane, depending upon how they decide to run him, with Zyra taking the opposite role. Kennen and Sona down bottom with Olaf in the jungle. And that is a pretty powerful lineup if they can chain their CCs together. Sona ultimate into the ultimate of Wukong, into Zyra ultimate, into Kennen ultimate. That's 4 area effect, hard CC abilities that they could all throw together for massive effect in a team fight. mouzsports is not going to be able to deal with that if they group up as 5. I think they're going to have to split push. Though they do have a very good lineup for split pushing, as Renekton is a great split pusher, Shen's a great split pusher. And they can really stop initiations with a good Taric stun, and a Ryze Rune Prison, and a runaway. But this is going to come down to, can Giants get that team fight off, and can they not lose in the early game? And if they can get a good advantage early on the Giant side of things, Ryze is not going to be a problem, as they can keep him locked down for most of the fight. But if Ryze can go late, ooh boy, I feel sorry for the Giants team, as Ryze is one of the strongest late game champions in the game at the moment. We are into the game, and it looks like standard starts all around. I expect mouzsports to try and at least apply some pressure in the early game and choose their lanes. It looks like Kennen is going to be running top, and Giant side is going to do the lane swap again. I think it would be a pretty decent decision this game, though I do think mouzsports will be ready for it and swap themselves should they decide to. Looks like Taric's just going to go drop that board down bottom, and we are going to see things basically be standard with the exception of top and bottom lanes switching it around. And it looks like we are just going to see a very defensive start, as Wukong versus Renekton does go in Renekton's favor for the early game, though Wukong will come out later as he just does a ridiculous amount of damage with his ultimate. His ultimate is one of the highest damaging abilities in the game, and it synergizes so well with Black Cleaver as it hits every, I believe, half second, possibly even quarter second. Though it looks like we do see Giants actually rotating back to do standard lanes, with Sona and Kennen going down bottom and Wukong top. Renekton's going to have a better time against Sona Kennen as compared to the Wukong, as Wukong just doesn't have any real ability to farm early game. He can walk up, pop his decoy, and then back away, but it's not a very good choice. And it looks like mouzsports is going for that early level 1 first blood, as Shen is setting top, not waiting for creeps to spawn. And Ryze is up here as well. Wukong is sitting in that bush just waiting for something to happen. And they are going to jump in there. Wukong does see pink ward is dropped. Stun does come out onto Wukong, and Wukong will be taken down for first blood. He will be able to flash over the wall. Yes, he is, but the ignite should kill him. No, it does not. He's sitting on near 0 hit points. Not sure what ability he's picked up, but he does live, and that's a huge win for the Giant side. A lot was burned for that, and they are going to lose their red buff, but not giving away first blood. Absolutely pure luck by Wukong, and a bit of skill. But basically one more wind blow would have taken him down in that fight. I didn't actually see how many hit points he had, as they didn't focus him right away. But that number was not in double digits. That was a single digits escape by Wukong. Beautiful play. And that was just a real unfortunate turn of events for mouzsports. They should have had that first blood, but Wukong just barely surviving. Looks like Olaf was going to try and come in for a gank, but he was spotted out, thanks to a defensive ward placed by Taric at the beginning of the game. And now with that gank over, Giants is going to have a pretty good advantage, as Shen is going to be very far behind in the jungle. I'm not sure he's going to be able to take this buff without Olaf coming in there. Olaf does not have a spite, as he does throw the axes across. and both of them with double buffs, but Shen is only level 2 compared to the level 3 of Olaf. And Olaf's going to have a much better time farming. Problem is, Renekton's already up to 10 CS, while Wukong hasn't seen a single creep. I'm not sure he's even seen a single creep worth of experience at this point, as he is still level 1. And Kennen and Sona are not going to be able to bully around Renekton too much. Renekton does a great job of farming under tower. And mouzsports should have a pretty good advantage with his lane swap, as Wukong can't deal with it. And that's one disadvantage of picking a Wukong, especially for top lane. It almost might have been better to have Zyra run top lane at this point in time, just so she can farm from a distance. Wukong does a little better against Ryze. Or they could have even had Wukong jungle if they wanted to. Olaf's an amazing 2v1 laner. And it looks like Shen is going to come up here and try and make something happen, as Wukong has likely picked up his decoy. I don't see any reason to pick up any other ability, especially in a situation like this, as you really do need that decoy ability to escape. Looks like we are going to see him just continue to sit at max range. He's picked up a few CS, but not enough, as he is basically being doubled up by Renekton at this point. And Renekton's doing a really good job CSing here, as he's caught up to the mid laners already. And this is not what you want to see out of the Giants team. They've done a good job avoiding that first blood, as Ryze is taken fairly low in the mid lane thanks to a few renegade axes by Olaf, as both sides are going to continue to farm. And Shen's just sitting up top waiting for Wukong to come in, but I don't think Wukong is going to. He's just going to sit there at max range gathering experience, not really worried about anything. Taric does not have a pink ward in his inventory. He doesn't have a single ward, as Wukong could jump in there and try something as Olaf does come up. He is not spotted out, as the axe does fly onto Taric, but it does miss. And Wukong and Olaf are going to be able to 2v3 fairly effectively, as Olaf is level 5 and has really strong axes at this point. He's level 3. And he does have blue buff. No, his blue buff just expired. And I think Olaf should just sit up here with Wukong, and that it will be a pretty big win, as we do see the mouzsports tide tower going down. Giants picking up the first tower of the game. And with Wukong and Olaf up here, I don't think the top tower is going to go down anytime soon. Olaf can just continually throw those axes through. Kennen getting very close to stunning Renekton, but just not in range. Renekton is able to dash away at the last second. And Varus is up in CS at this point, as Taric does throw the stun onto Olaf, but here comes Ryze with the teleport gang, and first blood is taken onto Olaf. And this tower will now be going down, thanks to the fact Ryze came up with the teleport on the backside of things. And a very good gank there by Ryze, and that means mouzsports is in the lead, and we are likely to see another back and forth thriller, as Renekton is jumping in onto Sona. And the big difference here is mouzsports got the kill off of it, and they didn't sacrifice a kill like they did in the first game. And it looks like they are just going to continue to push, as they do see 3 people up top, 4 now with Ryze coming in. And it looks like they are going to try and jump in on Wukong. And it looks like Wukong will be in a bit of trouble. He should be able to go invisible here, as he does. Though Ryze is in the air, he does jump back, and he does apply a lot of damage, and Taric will be forced to flash away. Shen in a bit of trouble, but the tower will not aggro him. Sona coming up as well, as she does land the slow, and Olaf is going to continue to axe the entire time. Olaf is not 6, or would have been able to do something, and mouzsports has picked up 2 kills, and starting off amazingly well. They're up 1,000 gold, and in this game they did pick up those 2 early kills instead of giving them away to a Katarina. And it looks like we are going to see Zyra continue to push. And how low is that mid tower? It is very low, and she should be able to pick it up this minion wave if she decides to go attack it, but instead she's just going to go back and sacrifice the minions. Wukong's going to come down bottom against Renekton, and Wukong is in terrible shape, as he is down 30 CS at this point in time, and Renekton's almost the top CS in the game, sitting at 45. And hopefully Wukong can just pick up some levels and use his ultimate in team fights, as that's all he's really going to be able to do, as I don't think any lead is going to be able to come back from this point. Looks like we are going to have Olaf coming down here for a gank, and they're basically waiting for Renekton to jump in. He does pop the Call of the Meek and heal himself up. Ward placed in that bottom brush by Wukong means he should be able to keep himself nice and safe. Kennen going to do a good bit of damage to his top tower, as Varus just waits for his support. We do see Tear the Goddess finished up on a Ryze, going into the Rod of Ages. Likely or like possibly he could go into double Rod of Ages as we saw earlier in a game, which was a really cool build. It basically made him tankier than a Warmong's character. And gold is definitely going in the way of mouzsports side, as that global objective gold is basically evened out across the map, but those 2 kills virtually invaluable. And the big difference is where the gold's sitting at. Kennen's sitting at 24,000, while Ryze has gotten a lot of gold as thanks to getting both of the kills for the mouzsports side of things. And Wukong is not going to be able to stay in this bottom lane very long, though he has caught up on CS fairly well, only being down about 20 at this point compared to the 30 he was a few seconds ago. Ryze will be taking blue buff, and we are going to see Wukong going likely for a phage into just a tanky build, as he is going to be needed to initiate these team fights, as Olaf doesn't have a very good initiation, and I don't think they want to see Sona jumping in and throwing out her ultimate right away. Renekton has completed his Brutalizer, as we are going to see a Warmong's up on the Shen, as he has completed his Maladrin's Razor. Varus has picked up a Vampiric Scepter, and Shen is waiting in the background for a gank up top. Question is, will he actually be able to pick one up? I'm not sure he will, though they are likely to jump in on Kennen. The question is, will Taric get in range for a stun? No, he does not, as Shen will still be in that top brush waiting, but Kennen is wisely playing on the far side of things. And if they do try and go, and it looks like Shen is going to just kind of sit there near that tower. He's not been able to farm very well, and Olaf is farming incredibly well. Olaf has picked up boots of mobility, which means he's looking to roam around the map and just continue to farm, as those do come off cooldown basically every time you finish killing a creep camp. We do see Taric picking up the Duran Shield, interesting choice for a support looking to prevent harassment, as you do see Sona picking up the Philosopher's Stone. Renekton and Wukong are just going to continue to duel it out as Olaf does come up top, and we are going to see likely a 3v3 fight, as Shen is level 6 and can come in at any time with his ultimate. And it looks like we are going to have Taric slightly caught out here, as the stun will now fly. Kennen does pop the ultimate, and that is a dead Taric, as we do see a teleport coming in, and Sona will be taken very low, but Taric does go down. And that is Ryze picking up another kill. And this Ryze is going to snowball incredibly well into late game, as Olaf is trying to pick him up, but he's just not in time, as his ultimate was burned earlier in the fight. Zyra in the area, and that is a kill, as Zyra will not be able to pick up. No, she just barely picks up the kill onto Ryze, getting the shutdown. And Zyra is going to be able to try and get this kill, but I don't think she's going to be able to. And mouzsports doing an excellent job of applying pressure to this top lane, and they're winning all around the map, as Renekton's easily going to be able to punish Wukong down bottom and pick up this bottom tower fairly soon. Looks like we are going to have 1,000 gold lead for the mouzsports side of things, thanks to their getting an extra kill in that last team fight. Looks like Wukong is going to be jumping in onto Renekton, as Wukong is forced back, and Wukong is not able to get anything done this game. He's 30 CS down and getting absolutely dominated by Renekton. He has no sustain except for a bunch of potions, and that's really hurting into what he can actually do in terms of gold. Looks like Wukong is going to throw his ultimate down, and he is exhausted. Olaf does come in the area, and as he is going to continually land axes, and that means that Renekton is going to go down as Wukong does jump in. Another axe lands, and that means Wukong does pick up a kill, a much needed kill for him, and that should help him come back in this game, as we do see Giants going for Dragon. Shen will not be able to come in the area, as his ultimate is on cooldown, though it looks like mouzsports is trying to counter with a kill on the middle tower. Zyra is in the area, and I don't think she's going to be able to prevent it, but she is going to be able to slow them down enough to actually have Kennen come through. Looks like Zyra is getting taken fairly low and will be taken down by Ryze. Her ult passive does go through for a fair bit of damage, and that is a pretty decent trade, as Zyra is not worth a ton of gold, but still a kill for Dragon is pretty good trade for Giants, as they have cut this lead down to about 400 at this point in time. And a 400 gold lead, 12 minutes in, it's not a whole lot. It's basically how the creeps are pushing at this point in time. As you do see Kennen likely going to go for that early Bloodthirster, could go for the Infinity Edge again, but I think early Bloodthirster is going to be a lot better here, as he is going to be dove by Taric and Renekton, and likely Shen as well if he can actually get in there. Ryze has picked up the Tear of the Goddess and a Catalyst, likely to be building that into a Rod of Ages at any point. Wukong has finished a Brutalizer, and Ruby Crystal going to bring that into a Brutalizer fairly soon. Olaf with the Spirit Stone, and look at the Boots of Mobility. Should allow him to just run through the enemy team and get a good running start towards the AD carry. Look like we are going to have Brutalizer up on Renekton in addition to the Ninja Tablet, trying to prevent some of the heavy physical damage coming out of Giants. Shen is forced to stay up top for a few moments as Wukong basically tries to come back as he is down 30 CS to Renekton still. And we do see Shen coming back in CS as well as he has surpassed Olaf. Zyra has completed her Rod of Ages as we do see support items coming out from Sona, but Taric still lacking that support item as he has the components for 2 of them but does not has finished them off yet. Looks like we are going to see a bit of stream lag as we do see a fight coming down bottom. Sona ultimate does come across, but she will be taken down. Kennen will pop his own ultimate and be just fine. And that is another kill going the way of mouzsports. And mouzsports is just doing a great job this game of applying pressure all the way around the map. They are going to take another tower down and be in a 1-tower lead. Zyra should try and pressure this middle tower if she's able to, though Zyra is caught out and won't be able to defend this bottom tower for a few moments. And it looks like mouzsports understand that, and it looks like the minions will be able to kill this tower, evening up at 2 apiece. And Olaf should be able to throw his axe and finish off that bottom tower, as we do see Kennen getting stunned and hit perhaps for a good bit of damage, but Olaf is still in the area. Zyra does land roots, and that will mean we do not see a kill. I do thought Varus was going to go down as he's very low in life, but Wukong comes in from the backside and does a whole lot of damage as he will be able to pick off Ryze. Great counter initiation by Giants, just waiting for Wukong to come up. Does Zyra have flash? Looks like she does. It has just come off cooldown, and she might be able to flash forward and root if she so chooses. She does, and it will be able to pick up Taric as Renekton tries to save her, as Wukong does flash forward, and he is able to pick off Taric, and it looks like Renekton's in a lot of trouble as well, as exhaust does come out from Renekton, but he is rooted and exhausted as well. Big kills from Giants as they do take the gold lead, picking off all of those heroes, and that is just exactly what you want to see coming out of the Giant side of things. And it looks like they might actually pick off Shen here, but Olaf does miss that first axe. And will he be able to land the second? Yes, he does, and he should be able to finish off Shen here, as he does have enough true damage, though Shen does taunt away and flash. Olaf does chase with the flash, but he's not able to hit the axes as Wukong does jump in and lands the hit, and he will get the red buff slow, and Olaf does land that axe, and it will be another kill onto Olaf. Olaf picks up another kill after that. It looks like Ryze is in a bit of trouble as he is forced to flash away, running into a Giants gank squad. And Giants has really made a nice comeback here off that bottom engagement. It looked like it was going to be a mouzsports 2 towers for none, but they turned it around with beautiful ultimate placements, and Zyra just doing a real menace this game. And that's exactly what you will need to do when you come back, is make a big play like that. And Giants is just showing how incredibly strong they are. And mouzsports just got a little too greedy. It's not that they were doing anything bad, and against a lesser team that would have worked. But you're not playing lesser teams here. You're playing the best of the best, especially this late into a tournament. And that's just something mouzsports is going to have to learn as things go on. Is when you're playing the best of the best, things are just a little bit different. And that's really allowed Wukong to come back in this game. He's sitting at 3-1-3, doing a great job this game. Even though he was down heavily for most of it, he's made the best of his situation, and he doesn't need a whole lot of items to do damage with his ultimate. Looks like he has picked up a black cleaver in addition to the Giant's belt. Looks like we are going to see Warmongs coming out onto several champions of the Giant side. And there, look at the gold swing here. Zyra and Kennen leading the way, picking up a whole lot of gold off of all of that. Ryze still in the game though, and he could easily turn this around if it goes late. They have enough protection for him, and they have a good bit of damage coming out from Varus as well. And that's what mouzsports is going to have to bank on now, as the game is still pretty close as the mouzsports take his tower lead, though they are still down about 1,000 gold at this point, thanks to kills and just a slightly bit better farming on the Giant side of things. But mouzsports team can buy time for Ryze to get all his items up. Ryze could be sitting on an Archangel staff, and in addition to a Manamura if they can make this game go long enough, as Shen could just split push and buy time for Ryze to farm. Ryze isn't farming particularly well, only sitting at 106 minions, but that's something that they can rectify if they decide to give him farm. And we've seen several games in this tournament completely turned around by good Ryzes. We do see Wukong jumping in up on the Shen, as we do see teleport coming in from Ryze up top. Wukong will be forced to ultimate and run away, as he is taunted under the tower, but the spin from Wukong will mean that he can get away faster, as we do see Olaf taking the bottom dragon, as Renekton's coming in trying to get onto Wukong. Taric will land the stun, and that is a dead Wukong, but trading Wukong for likely a tower and dragon. In addition, they might be able to pick off a kill onto Varus. Ultimate does come out from Shen, and Shen will come down bottom. And it looks like the Giant side of things are just going to back up, as the entire mouzsports team is running all the way from top lane. But they are spotted out thanks to a very well placed Olaf axe, and Giants should be able to get out of here just fine. And a decent bait by Wukong, as he did decide to sacrifice himself for dragon. And even though it's not the best champion, as I would like to see somebody like Sona traded for dragon, it's still a pretty good idea, especially when Shen can't come in with his ultimate. Shen has finished off his Warmongs at this point in time. Renekton likely building a Warmongs as well, and both of those champions looking to get really tanky really quickly, as we do see several Warmongs are going to be built in addition to the ones already there. Kennen does pop his ultimate and gets the stun on Varus. He does get another shot, and will he be able to finish it off? Yes, he does, as the Taric heal is not enough. Beautiful play there by Kennen, just sitting at max range, getting that stun off at the very last second. We are going to have Taric picking up an Aegis of the Legion, likely a Runic Bulwark pretty soon, as both Kennen, Zyra, and Olaf do a fair bit of magic damage. In addition to Sona having a good bit herself, Kennen does have that Infinity Edge. Likely Zyra going for a Death Cap next, as we do see support items coming up onto Sona. Brutalizer and Black Cleaver soon to be up on the Renekton, as we do have Ryze finishing off his Rod of Ages. Phantom Dancer soon to be complete up onto Varus, as Kennen is going to be pushing down this tower. Renekton coming in, but the Sona ultimate is still down. She does have exhaust should something actually happen, as it looks like Renekton will be able to push them back, especially if the rest of the team comes. And with Lightning Rush, Kennen can easily move around the map. That's one of the reasons Giants likes him, as he can easily just back off any of these engagements. And it looks like Varus does steal the big golem away from Kennen. We are going to see mouzsports just continue to group up and try and find a pick off here or there, as Giants does the exact same thing. They will be trying to take down this top tower, and Shen wisely backs away, as he does not have the ability to fight them even under tower. And Ryze does not have his teleport up for a significant amount of time. Shen ultimate's down as well, and it looks like we are going to see Mouz trying to come up top, but it looks like they're just going to secure their own jungle. Looks like Giants is up by about 2,000 to 3,000 gold at this point in time, depending upon how the creep waves move. And it looks like they are going to be grouping up, trying to start a fight here, as I think they're getting a little bit desperate and a little bit impatient, as I think the Giants team fight is incredibly strong compared to the mouzsports one. Zyra does flash forward, but to no avail, as no abilities were spent other than the dash by Renekton, but that's going to be off cooldown by the time anything happens. And that is a very big win for mouzsports, as Zyra can't flash ultimate or flash root anymore in a team fight. Both sides are grouping up in the mid lane, as Shen is forced to go back, and he's likely to continue split pushing. His ultimate is up, so he can join this fight from anywhere on the map. And it looks like we are going to see mouzsports trying to sneak in there and steal red and possibly catch someone out, as I do believe they were spotted thanks to a pink ward. But that ward did save the life of Kennen, as he might have been caught at the red buff. It was a good idea. Wukong has picked up home guard boots and is about to complete his own Warmongs. And his teleport is up as well, meaning he could easily join the fight from the backside and use his ultimate to great effect. Wukong's been a champion that hasn't seen a whole lot of play lately, but once he sees that play, he really gets going. He's not a champion that's really ban-worthy, but when you can bring him into these team comps, where you bring a lot of AoE CC, he's an absolute monster. Looks like we are going to have Ryze picking up likely the Frozen Heart next, which is a great item, as Giants need the attack speed to do a whole lot. And with Kennen up top, this will be a free tower by mouz. Nice recognition of the fact Kennen is nowhere near. Ultimates do fly, but there is not enough damage. As Ryze is jumped in, looks like Wukong is coming with teleport, and he does get the ultimate off onto Ryze, meaning Ryze will not get away, as several people do flash over the wall. They are going to be able to get onto Shen, and Giants doing an excellent team fight without Kennen, as their AoE CC combo under tower was just too strong, and that will be 2 for none, as Kennen does take top tower, and Shen goes down, and that is the power of an AoE CC comp, especially if you're all grouped up. Sona ultimate hit, I believe, hit 5, Zyra ultimate hit 5, and then they just poured on the damage. Beautiful play by Giants, and mouzsports just needs a little bit more experience here, as that just seems to be the difference here. Giants is experienced with these different team comps. mouz just needs to work on it a bit more. And it looks like Giants are going to be going for Baron. I don't think there's any way they can be stopped at this point in time, as Ryze has just respawned, though they are going to be forced back, as Olaf does not have the health to continue tanking it. And that is a small win for mouzsports, as they don't get that far behind, though they are about 5,000 gold behind at this point in time. And if they want to go do Baron, they can at this point, as the ultimates for Giants are down, and Giants really does need their ultimates to team fight. They have 4 AoE CCs of amazing proportion, and we saw 3 of them put together there, and if they can combine that with the Kennen ultimate, I don't think mouzsports was going to move the entire team fight. They're just going to be chain CC the entire time, as Wukong's ultimate is about up. Kennen is caught out, but he will be able to pop his ultimate. And a nice use of the Zyra ultimate as it just comes off cooldown. Kennen ultimate coming through, and there's just not enough damage coming out from the mouzsports side of things, as they're CC'd the entire time, as it looks like Shen might be able to pick up a kill on Wukong, but no, Zyra finishes him off. And that should be a good game in the favor of Giants, as they will be able to take this Baron and push in. And it looks like a surrender vote does come out from mouzsports. Beautiful AoE CC comp, executed to perfection. And that is how you do an AoE CC comp coming out from Giants. Thank you for watching Games Cast by PanderNyrl. For more commented games, please visit my YouTube and stream channels.